Hello, hello, hello. Right, let's see if any. Right, this is really weird again. I can see. Oh, you're there. I can't see Murray or Cheryl yet. Sorry, I'm late, guys. I had some problems logging in. Oh dear. So, I'll get the link up for Cheryl in a minute. I told her not to rush. This is just a sort of a brief introduction into Eileen's life. So we'll just start from the very beginning, really, just to get to know her as a person, if you like, because not many people have done that. Well, they may have done, but we haven't seen it. So it'd just be nice to get the full side of her background story as to what led her into a life of, a lady of the night, if you like. So, oh, oh my God, I don't know why, but I've started watching the air ambulance on YouTube. Oh my God. Some of these injuries are bloody horrific, guys. Absolutely horrific. There's bones sticking out of legs. There's people being sick in the helicopter. And I didn't know this. This is why the UK air ambulances all around the world are really important. We must support them where we can. And we must make sure that the money's not going, they have the charities, but the Masons are part of those charities. So you just have to do a bit of research and be careful that it's actually going to the London Air Ambulance, for example, either down south or up north. But guys, they can operate on the side of the street now. They can do that. All they have to do is call the chopper in. I was a little boy fell off a cliff at Dover and survived. Oh my God. Oh my God. There's this woman, there's a load of claret gushing from her head, from a head injury. She survived. Oh my God. A 23-year-old guy, bless his heart, didn't survive. He, for some reason, and they were investigating for a few months and they can't figure out why, but he drove at 75 miles per hour at a tree and split his Volvo right down the middle. Obviously, he died. But I don't know why I watch it. I'm not very squeamish, but sometimes blood, it makes my skin go all funny. Ooh. But I can handle blood, if that makes sense. I suppose I'm a bit like Doc Martin, but without the vomit. Anyway, hi Murray, how you doing? Hi Defender. Guys, don't forget to hit like and share because this must get out. These Aileen videos, they must get out. Can you hear me? Oh God, don't tell me I'm trying. Right. Right, let's get the link in, see if anyone can hear. I don't think you can hear me. Are we having thingy problems again? Right, there's the link there. Defender, can you hear me? Right, good, 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 good. Right, Cheryl, I'm ready when you are, but just remember, no rush. We just appreciate you being here and doing this with us. So it's once a week. Oh, thanks, Cheryl. Once a week, Aileen Wuornos. And then we'll choose probably a Saturday when Leah's not here, just to catch up and have a laugh at all the comedy going on. Might do oh no, we won't say anything. We won't say anything. Right, so let's get up. I'm probably gonna have to. Right. Oh, I have to go over here for Cheryl. Right, add Cheryl. I'm probably gonna have to read out on the other screen just briefly because the words are so bloody small. Hi Cheryl, how are you doing?
Hello.
Thanks for joining
I'm
us.
good. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Awesome.
Can you
Awesome.
hear me?
Yeah, perfect.
Good.
Perfect. I always get the
Yeah.
biggest kick out of you because you're just like me. I'm always doing stuff at the last minute. And then I realize, oh shit, I got to do this. I got to be over here. Oh God.
Oh God, yes. Sorry, Cheryl. It's Yeah, well, I'm grateful that you understand, but it's a nightmare, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
just
it is, because
literally
I'm
last
just
minute
like
shit.
you. That's why I laughed. It's just like, oh, not another one like me, Jesus. Uh,
Oh, thanks, Murray. Right, so yeah, let's see if we can get this right. Let's get it up on right. No, share screen. Let's get that on the screen, and then right is right. That's it. See what I mean, guys? You just can't read it.
no, you can't. Oh my Lord. I've got my magnifying glass out and I can't read it. Jesus.
What an absolute nightmare. So, as we know, Aileen Wuornos, if I've pronounced, is that right? Wuornos? Wuornos?
Warnos. Yep. You got it.
Wuornos, that's it.
Warnos. Uh-huh.
Right, so as we know, she's been classed as a monster by the police, you know, victims' families and blah, 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 mainstream, and to the world, really, she's been called a monster. But as we've been looking into things, and, Cheryl and I, we've quickly realised that's not quite the case, is it, Cheryl?
No, not at all. There's so much backstory to her, and just a life of total abuse and craziness that went on from her childhood on. She was in and out of foster homes, in and out of orphanages, and then when she got, I think around 13, 14, was in and out of juvenile hall. So she had a really messed up life.
Yeah, bless her, because, as well, as Cheryl knows, and obviously some of us know now because we've been looking into it. But as it's just a brief background thing here, it just already says it just hits you right in the face. Really, she was born to an unmarried couple. They were very young. One was 16, one was 19, so they couldn't really look after her. So her grandparents took over and basically raised her, and she thought that they were her actual parents. And then it just goes on where she's, the details of Eileen's early childhood, childhood are sparse. So right from the beginning, in my opinion, just by reading that, it seems like they've even maybe some of the family in the background have tried to shut things down.
They
Um,
did. Yeah, they
yeah,
did. She didn't have anybody on her side
this
when
stuff.
this started. And people tend to believe what they see in the media. And I'm just looking at some of I still have a lot of the newspaper clippings and whatnot. Um, Wuornos sentenced to death, man-hating murderer,
Mm,
slaughtered victims to get even with her dad. That's such bullshit. I
yeah,
mean,
that's a cop
that
out.
had, yeah. Wuornos tapes replay chilling murder tales. I mean, and it just goes on and on. Wuornos' confession to be allowed. And then it says, was Wuornos' confession forced? And that's one where they bring in the girlfriend, Tyree, and think
Yeah.
that they set her up, they baited her into confessing, which is, how I feel about that. I think that's what happened too.
Yes, absolutely. And I think I may put a picture of Tyra up, but guys, you have to behave, okay? You just have to behave about the way she looks, okay? Because like me and Cheryl discussed the other day, they really shouldn't have allowed her on national TV or national YouTube. It is now, looking the way she does, and her as a person maybe should have got something done beforehand, or at least asked for the face to be blurred out. Not that she's ugly or anything like that. It's just something with her teeth. Um, None of us are perfect, obviously, so I'm not taking the piss out of the way she looks. However, just my observations, I think they should have done more before plastering her face everywhere, because people don't want to be taken the piss out of because the way they look, do they? So I think half and half are to blame there.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree. That was that was a good picture that you put up of Lee, though. That's the one they used in almost everything, the magazine articles, when they would show something on TV, because she has that look about her. It's,
Yes, she does. Yeah, because I
you know,
didn't put one of her up like in a prison suit. I just thought I'd find a nice one of her smiling.
yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it says here early encounters with the legal system. Her early adulthood was also marked by encounters with the legal system, indicating a pattern of behaviour that would later escalate. Well, obviously, as we know, that would come from the, neglect, abuse as a child. It happens. Sadly, kids, when they grow up and abused and blah, 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 it's all they know. And when they have no one, what are they supposed to do? They just turn to a life of crime. But I'm not condoning it. But sadly, that's the way it is, sadly. And I'll read on quickly. It's not very long. It just says these early run-ins with the law suggest a growing pattern of difficulties and a lack of positive social support structures. While the specific details of these early encounters are not readily available in the provided research, their occurrence underscores the unstable nature of her life during this period. This instability, coupled with a lack of supportive relatives, ultimately contributed to her later tragedy. The absence of consistent guidance and support created a significant gap in her life, leaving her vulnerable. Yeah, I'm glad they mentioned that
Yeah.
because it's all monster this, but this article in particular, this blog, states the reasons why she may have done what she did. So it's yeah, I'll leave that up. Oh, actually, I might take that off. Actually, oh no, I don't need to take that off. I who? Oh, hang on. I distant. Right, good. Don't need to catch up on the chat that much. But yeah, Cheryl, what are your opinions apart from what we
I was
already
just,
know?
yeah, I was just looking at Defender's question. Did they take her mental health into account? A little bit. This was so many years ago. This was in the early 90s, like between 89, 90, and then when this started coming to court was 91. They didn't do a whole lot for people back then. I mean, they would have her evaluated, but those prison psychiatrists, they're so jaded, and I believe they already have their minds made up. And I have some of that stuff late as we get going with this and see what you guys like.
Yeah,
I've got some of her assessments in there and what they say about her and whatnot. What never made sense to me is I worked in criminal law, I guess, for about total 8 or 9 years. And when you look at people's histories, you can kind of see where they started from and where they're going to go. You know what I'm saying? You
mm,
can see the propensity for violence, or you can see the propensity to shut themselves off and mental issues and all that. She always had the mental issues, but there wasn't the propensity for violence there. I mean, she would get into scuffles with the women in the jail over commissary and, girlfriends and stuff like that. But as
yeah,
far as violent crimes, there weren't any of that. So they never I don't know, they never convinced me when I was
no,
reading her early assessments that she had a propensity for this. That's why I always think something had to have snapped. And I'm not justifying what she did at all, but something went really wrong with this lady. Really,
mm,
really wrong.
very, very wrong. Bless her.
And all the experts were wrong. None of them seem to have gotten it. And they tend to have or they used to anyway, of what now things have kind of flipped a little bit. I've been watching the little bit of the stuff going on with that guy over here in America that killed the insurance guy. And all the
Uh-huh.
celebrities that are, out there fawning over him and trying to make a hero out of him. And it's just like, oh my God, are you kidding me? That back then they wanted to make you go away. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hurry up,
Yeah,
get it over with, get them convicted, and let's just make this go away.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And it's even just going back to it basically states there as well that her family just shut things down as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They
It's
didn't want to be a part of any of it. Well, her
no, no,
girlfriend didn't want to help her, didn't want to be a part of it, totally turned on her. And I really think that's where she gave up. You can see the difference in her. She had in the beginning, she was still cocky, talking to, I wish I could play some of the recordings for you. You can hear the difference in her voice. She was real cocky, real, oh, fuck you pigs, yada, yada, yada. I ain't talking, I ain't doing. And then the
hmm
next thing you know, they get her on that phone call with Tyree, and then all the wind comes out of her. And it's like, okay, I'll tell you everything. And she just let it all blow out. Didn't try to make a deal, didn't try to do anything.
no, no. It's very, very sad, and it's like they didn't want to be named and shamed, and known that they were absolutely crappy parents, a crappy support system that every
Yeah.
child needs when they grow up. It's
Yeah.
really quite bizarre, and I would have loved to have met her, wouldn't you?
Fascinating person, fascinating. She, you saw her handwriting. I mean, that
Yes.
wasn't, she didn't go that far in school, but she was extremely intelligent,
Yeah.
wrote very well. But just these long, I mean, I almost would go, oh my God, trying to wade through some of her writings. But they tell you a lot about her, and her spelling and punctuation were all spot on. It just is mind boggling to me that maybe if things had been different, her whole life might have been different because she was extremely intelligent. She wasn't your typical uneducated
Mm,
streetwalker. You know what I mean? The ones
yeah.
that really have no education. Not that I'm downgrading anybody. People do what you got to do to support yourself, but she
Right.
wasn't typical.
No, that's right. Exactly. Blimey. I just think, yeah, it's it is. It's just a sad case of police failures, in my opinion, as per usual. Failings of the parents, as I don't want to keep going on about that. And that poor woman, in the end, she just had enough of it all and just thought, right, yeah, take the blame, just get me off this planet. Because she knew there was no real future for her inside or outside jail, even if she did get found innocent.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
life would she have
No,
outside
you're
jail?
spot on with that. You are
Mm,
spot on. She just totally gave up everything once she realized that Tyree wasn't going to stand behind her. Everybody had already formed their opinions. She actually tried to fight during the first trial, but that all just kind of, once that lady adopted her and that whole weird scenario with the entertainment lawyer that, you know,
yeah,
everybody was trying to cash in on her, and she was well aware of this. There's that British guy. I'll have to find his name in the records because you guys probably know him over there. A
right,
good-looking guy, dark hair, was a journalist. That
right.
she did several interviews with him, and he was going to give her some money. And I think he tried to help her. He seemed like a decent
Mm,
guy anyway.
yeah,
But she even got mad at him in the end, and that all kind of fell apart. But everybody was after a story on her. Everybody was trying to make money off of her. And boy, a lot of people did in the
yes,
beginning. The vultures come out.
absolutely, absolutely. And yeah, as we know, Tara was one of them. And I mean, we will get more into the adoptive person. Her name is Aileen, and Cheryl was explaining. I'm not sure if I told you guys before, but this is why we may call Aileen Lee, because there was Aileen, the alleged monster, and the adopted person. I can't really say mother. Weren't they?
Yeah.
How old was that woman? I can't remember
She
how.
was she was just a little bit older than Lee. I think in her
Right. Yeah.
40s when this, yeah, and then married and all of that, and that's a whole strange,
Yes.
they didn't live together.
Very
It
weird.
was just like,
Very
oh God.
strange. Yeah. So you couldn't really call her the adopted mother. It was more of a, oh, just adopt a friend.
Yeah, yeah.
Very peculiar. very. And it's like I said to you the other day, this Aileen woman, the doctor, she claims to be Christian this, and I want Lee to know Jesus, and she has to confess to all her sins. But a Christian would not tell someone to plead guilty for some of the things they didn't even do. They're
Exactly.
supposed to be preaching to tell the
Yeah.
truth and only the truth, and only own up to the ones that you actually did.
Yeah, there's a whole period in there where that Eileen lady got her wearing crosses, and everybody knew it because, they had seen her in the media. They had seen bits and pieces of interviews with her and her attitude and all of that. And then all of a sudden, here she is dressed in skirts and white blouses and her hair pulled back and a little bit of makeup. And it wasn't her at all wearing these
Mm.
crosses. Oh, I've been saved. And and as everything started falling apart, all of that went by the wayside. And it actually ended up causing her more harm than good.
Yeah.
It's like everybody started pointing the finger, going, see, look, none of that was real. She was just trying to get out of all of it. It's like, no, she knew she wasn't getting out of anything. But
Mhm.
oh,
Absolutely, because a lot of these prisoners do. Because, for example, my dad's a prison chaplain, and he's been doing it. Actually, funny story. My my well, let's. I haven't had that many boyfriends, so that's the thing. Do I call him an X or XX? Tommy.
triple X.
Yeah, triple X. Yeah, no, just four. So yeah. Quite the shy one, me.
Yeah.
But I do have a Larry side, so watch out. Yeah, for example, Tommy, he was my no, apart from Benji, Tommy no,
Oh, there's so many now. We're getting the names mixed
no,
up.
now
Come
I'm
on.
getting into my love life. I'm starting to remember other men. So there was Benji, Brian, Tommy. No, that's it. Benji, Brian, Tommy. Right. So say Tommy. Um, he we got together, and obviously he was a criminal, a very naughty one too. And we were
Ooh,
coming
you
back
like the
from.
bad boys, don't you?
Do you know what? Do you know what, Cheryl? I don't really like the bad boys. It's the fact that I'm a bad boy magnet. I try to avoid them at all costs, but they all end up coming my direction. And I think, is this how love is supposed to be? Running away from everyone, looking over our shoulders, writing prison letters, going to having letters, VOs on blah, 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 you know. And with Tommy, yeah, basically with him, we were out one night and he was coming back, was dropping me off, and the police were outside waiting at the end of my road. Obviously, I was with my parents then. And I said to him, "What have you done?" And obviously, I had no idea that my boyfriend was an armed robber. I
Oh,
had no idea. He hid that from me, the little fucker.
I
Anyway,
would think.
uh-huh. And obviously, I was working down the farm at that point, and dropped me off. And the police car pulled up right beside him, and he said, "I'll talk to you if I get out. I'll talk to you tomorrow about it." Anyway, the woman copper quickly got out the car, and she said, "Sarah," and I said, "How the hell did you know my name?" So
Oh,
the
that would
police,
scare the hell out of me.
yes,
Oh,
exactly. So obviously they had been watching him and me for quite a while. I had no idea. My jaw just dropped to the floor. Anyway, and I said, "Look, I don't want to get involved in anything," but she said, "You will have to come in at some point." I thought, "Well, whatever." Anyway, I went because this was about 2 in the morning. And anyway, the next day I went to work, didn't hear from Tommy, and all of a sudden, my uncle comes up at work and says, "The police want to see you." And I
oh
said, "Well,
God.
can't they wait until I finish work?" He said, "No, you've got to go now." And I thought,
Oh
oh,
my
for God's
God.
sake. Anyway, I went down there and they were really hammering into me. And obviously they knew of my mum and dad, who they were, etc., blah, blah, blah. So they were quite, adamant that I was not involved, but they had to officially hammer me kind of thing. And obviously I wasn't involved.
Yeah,
Otherwise I
but
would
they
have
want to
told
see
him.
what you know, and if
Yeah,
you can tell
they
them it,
wanted
yeah.
to see what I knew. I knew bloody nothing. I wasn't in tears, but I wasn't laughing either. And I said
No, I
to Phil,
probably would have been in tears. Oh God, I hate that kind of stuff.
yeah,
Oh,
it was horrible. I
yeah.
think at first it was the initial shock. Anyway, I said, Phil, like the cop, I said, Phil, look, I have no idea. He said, you've been with Tommy all this time and you'd had no. I said, how can he even do that? He's with me to about 2, 3 in the morning. And how does he said, well, you'll be surprised what burglars can do or whatever he was getting up to. And
Wow.
anyway, later that day, Tommy, they let him out on bail, and he rang me up, came to pick me up, and I said, "What the hell's going on?" He started being all funny, and he got a bit violent, and I said, "Right, go, just whatever." That's when I started crying, and
Yeah.
and then he just vanished, and then found
Oh
out
my
he'd been.
God, he didn't even try to explain himself or
No,
anything?
no, because I was just like, "Just F off," basically. It was he sort of vanished, and then he came up, and I just thought, "No, just no, I can't be dealing with all of that."
Yeah.
And then, the next thing I know, he's got arrested. He absolutely lost his shit. He went there was blood. He wrote something on the wall in a town near me. I'm not gonna say which one, and they're on the hunt for him.
Oh
And
God.
I thought, I missed a what's the saying? I'm missed a bullet or something like that.
Dodged a bullet,
That's
yeah.
it. That's
Yeah.
right. Anyway,
Oh Lord.
yeah, and then obviously they found him, nicked him, kept him in remand or whatever they do. He went to jail, and about 3 weeks later, I had a letter from Portsmouth prison where they put him, and that's in the UK near Dover, I think,
Mhm.
somewhere, somewhere down south, wherever I live anyway. Sorry, I'm just thinking funny things.
Uh,
Tricky trying to know where I live. It's so funny. But anyway, right, let's not talk about that tonight. Yeah. And then, I get a letter from Tommy, and then the next thing I know, he's writing to my dad, and then my dad starts seeing him in prison. I think it was like once a month or something like that. And Tommy's changed his life around in jail. And I said to my dad, he's only using you because he wants to get out, get back with me, um, you know, make it all good, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, Sarah, he's got so many convictions. It's not, this isn't his first rodeo. And I was like,
oh
"Oh,
God.
God." So he was in. We
Yeah.
thought he was going to
Yeah.
be in for a long time. But they had all these reprogramming your mind or rehabilitation
Yeah. Yeah.
courses and all that in jail, and this Christian course thing, which my dad was doing with him when he went to see him. They let him out 9. He was only inside for 9 months, so he got let out purely because it was a test run thing in all the
Yeah.
prisons.
See if it worked. Yeah.
Yeah, and because he'd done it, behaved himself so quickly, you know, really bizarrely quickly, he got let out early for good behaviour because he promised to stay on this course when he got out of jail. He did actually turn his life around, and I talk to him every now and again. Still, he's
See, I
married
love
now.
that because I never like to give up on people. I mean, there are certain people you encounter in this profession that you
Mhm.
look at and you go, there's no hope. They're dead behind the eyes. But I
Yeah,
think the majority of people, they just various things go wrong in their lives from the get go. And I know that nobody likes to hear, oh, blame it on the parents. But a lot of times it is the parents, it's
Uh-huh.
totally just whether it's lack of supervision to,
Yeah.
beating on them, starving them, whatever. And then from there, it just kind of snowballs. But I've always believed that people can turn things around. I've seen it,
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
always like to give
Yeah.
people the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. I mean, I watched this. The UK's toughest prisoner. Oh, what's his name? Um, oh, anyway, he he was a real scary guy. Cut a long story short, he found Jesus in jail, and people didn't believe him, and he thought he was basically. People were thinking like basically he was doing a Tommy. Oh, just ending the Tommy thing. Tommy
Yeah.
weren't using my dad just to get out early. He did actually change his life around. He's married now with a few kids. Last time I spoke to him was about a year and a half ago.
That's so
He's
great.
he's yeah, he's doing all this stuff again. He wants to get back in contact with my dad and my brother, because he's got some ideas up his sleeve for the youth. And I thought, my God. But when I watched this other guy, someone Taylor, I can't remember his first name now, but it was similar with him. He kept going into prison, like the high security prisons, because he was really, really dangerous. But then he found Jesus in jail, got
Wow.
out. He's completely changed his life around. Now he's doing something with the youth. So if you notice as well, a lot of prisoners, when they genuinely turn their life around, you notice when they come out, they're always wanting to target and help the youth, the young ones.
Yeah,
Not
where it
the
starts.
Yeah,
Yeah, to keep them from ending up like
exactly.
that.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, sorry, I'm yapping on about.
No, I love that. When you said Tommy, I got to tell you guys a quick. This is so funny. I think around 2018, I was over in the UK. My cousin and I went over, and I just loved it. I loved London. We went to Bath. We went to Oxford. I thought I was Inspector Lewis. I was just doing the whole damn thing. I was loving it. And
Yeah.
we were down on a side street, and there was a pub down there in downtown London, and all these guys were out there with mugs of beer and shouting, "Tommy, Tommy, Tommy!" And I'm like, "Who the hell is Tommy? What's going on here?" And
Mm,
I mean, they were rowdy as hell, and people were just falling over. They were all drunk, and this is probably like 2 in the afternoon. And then
wow.
we finally get a cab to pick us up, and it was a foreign guy, probably from India or somewhere like that. And so
Mhm.
we asked him, we go, "Who's Tommy? What's all the yelling about Tommy?" I'd never heard of Tommy Robinson. And he tells me, "Oh, that guy's a pedophile. They're trying to keep him
Oh
in
my
jail."
God.
And I was just like, "What?" So when I got home, I looked it up, and I was so pissed off because that cab driver had lied to us about, who he was and what the whole thing was.
Yeah, yeah, this is it. They'll just tarnish him with feathers if they could. It's
Yeah, yeah. I
ridiculous.
just was so stunned. So then I started following him on X after that. I was like, "Huh, this guy's interesting. He's got a lot of good stuff to say." So, but yeah, I always
Yeah,
thought that was kind of funny. Called him a pedophile.
yeah, that's an evil thing to call someone when you don't actually know the facts.
I think
It's
so
it's
too. That's
disgusting.
people throw that word around too lightly.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Back in the day, it used to be frowned upon if you called someone like that with no police evidence. But now, it's like confetti. They throw it around. It's
Oh
ridiculous.
God, yeah.
There's
Everybody and
always
their
a
mother.
nefarious Yeah, and there's always a nefarious reason behind it. Always.
Now
It's
there's a thing that's brewing now. Have you guys seen it? And do you know who Savannah Guthrie is?
No.
We have the three major news stations here: ABC, NBC, CBS, and then we have Fox. Okay, which Fox is the conservative one. The rest of them are all real liberal. And Savannah Guthrie is the lead host, lady, whatever, on I think it's the Today Show. Her mother disappeared on Sunday, lives in Arizona. They found blood in the hallway. The Ring camera had been disabled. And so now she's a missing person. They think they say foul plays involved. So that's all you're seeing on. I don't know how we got off on all these other tangents, but it just made such big news here all of a sudden. That's all they're talking about. And I thought, people go missing every day. Why
Yeah.
is her mom so special that she's getting 24/7 coverage like that? But yeah,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. It's just crazy. The world
it
has
really is.
it's gone completely bonkers, and I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know.
Oh, yeah,
It's
yeah, they're trying to get us back on topic here. I know.
oh yeah, yeah. I promised not to go off topic today, didn't I? Never mind. Yeah, defender says you're meant to confess to a priest, not a judge. Yeah, very true. And half the judges, it's obviously going to be the same in America. Um, they're very corrupt. They're all kind of like high-ranking Masons as well, aren't they?
Yes,
And
the
so
corruption is beyond belief, and especially if you look
customs,
back to cases like during the time of Aileen Wuornos, or we'll call her Lee, to
yeah,
what's going on today. It's like night and day. You don't even recognize. I could see the changes were happening back in the day, which is why I wanted to get out from underneath all of it. But I never expected the corruption that you see nowadays.
no, no, it's crazy. They all sort of stick together, obviously, and
Yeah.
it's just crazy. And some of these judges, there's always, well, not always. I can't say that. There's normally a uh, a reason why, it's I forget the term. How can I forget the term? I'm an expert on law. After having all these armed robber boyfriends, I should know it inside out.
Well, that newly elected Supreme Court judge, that Kanji something Brown, she's got three names. I don't know her whole name. She was the one that couldn't define what a woman was. She was seen
Oh,
at the Grammy Awards for sitting front and center at the Grammy Awards. And everybody's going, wait a minute, we've never had Supreme Court judges ever attend award shows and,
no.
all of that. And I go, yeah, it's the beginning of the end. I'm telling
Oh
you.
God, that's just something else, really, isn't it?
Hmm.
It's just absolutely crazy. But yeah, sorry, I'm just going back to our judges over here. It's like it over there, as you know. It's conflict of interest. They always put a judge on, well, not always, normally put a judge on the case that's conflict of interest, and it's wrong. So, or
Yeah.
they just have no. Oh, how can I put it? They've just got no care, no
Yeah,
depth.
you're right, Defender. They are. We've got a lot that are elected, and then we've got some that are appointed. And the appointed ones are the nightmare ones because you just cannot get them out of office. You'll
No,
find
yeah,
out there's so much corruption. I mean, look at some of our Congress people that Ilhan Omar that's caught up in, 1 minute she's worth about $37,000. Now she's a multimillionaire. They can't account for where all this money came from, which it came from all that COVID funding during that period when they were giving out billions of dollars. And she's all wrapped up in that, and they still can't get her out of office. Yeah, this stuff is crazy.
no, it's
Absolutely
too much.
crazy.
It really is too much. It's absolutely bonkers. And but then again, I think personally, I think it all goes down to the deep state and the deeper state. I just think they have this long list of people they have recruited
Yes, I
to
agree.
yeah, to infiltrate the courts, knowing that the public can't do
Yeah,
anything
if we can
about
ever stay on topic, that can be our next thing we take on.
it.
The deep
Uh-huh.
state, the global deep state, that's oh
Yes,
man, that's a whole
absolutely.
other nut to crack in and of itself.
Well, yeah, this is it. I wanted to get on to, oh God, I've forgotten his name now. I was doing about the drones in New Jersey, and that guy, Steve,
Yeah.
with the glasses, he was talking about the smaller, dark, deep state. They're the ones running the show. And he has to go around with bodyguards and stuff. I wanted to get into that, but we never really, no one was interested. But I think it was because, looking back now, I think it was because it was a lot. It was a lot for some people,
Yeah.
and I think something like that you just need to bring in slowly.
Hmm. Some people don't want to know.
No.
You'd have to really, I've learned that just from running a business. You have to be careful. Not that you have anything to hide, but certain people you can talk certain subjects about, other things you can't. It's like even years ago, this Wuornos case would just bring out the worst in people.
Mhm.
Everybody thought the worst of her. It was a done deal. She was guilty. She confessed, yada, yada. But they don't realize how all that confession came about, that there was a lot more to the story.
Mhm.
It just, yeah, people make up their minds just from watching the news. And we all know the news tells us the truth, right? I mean, hey,
Yeah, we wish.
yeah.
It'd be lovely if they actually told the truth, but,
Mhm.
yeah, it's crazy. So, I can't remember, and I know we'll get into it, but how long was she in jail before they killed her?
A couple of years. She
Right.
wasn't in there that long. Now, to her,
No.
and that's what wore her down. I think I was talking to you the other day about this,
Yes.
how it is here in the States, the difference between our county jails and our state prisons. It's like
Mhm.
night and day. The county jails are horrible. Most of them don't have mattresses, there's no pillow.
Oh,
I mean, some of them, depending on where you are, and she was down in Florida. Florida area has some nasty jails down there, county jails. She wanted out so bad that she just kept saying she would admit to anything, just get her out of the county jail. And it
mhm.
was such a mess because, when she fired our office and went with that celebrity attorney, he didn't know the first thing about criminal law and the rules of procedure, discovery, any of that stuff. And
No.
that's, I think, where this conspiracy of let's just talk her into finding God and pleading guilty and
Yes.
getting everything through. So they convicted her on the first one. And as that one was winding down, and that took about a year, that's when they really honed in on getting her to plead guilty to the rest of them. And that's what ended up happening.
Yeah,
That
bless.
fat guy, yeah, if you find some pictures of that fat attorney, celebrity
Yes.
attorney, he was no more a celebrity attorney. He has curly hair and whatnot. He was something else. I can't even believe he passed the bar.
Well, yeah, well, I think it's quite evident now why, really. And considering as well, normally when people over there are sent on death row, they don't actually get killed for 20, 30 years
Oh
later. So
my
that's
God, I
why
know.
I
That's
asked
why I
about
always say
Aileen.
I don't even know why, because so many
Yeah,
of the states here have overturned the death penalty. So
yeah,
I told you the difference between our state and federal, and they do have a federal death penalty, which would encompass all the states. But that's rarely used. You have to really, you'd have to go in and shoot up the White House or something of
yeah,
that magnitude to get that enacted. And then the states, most of the states have gotten rid of their death penalties, and the ones that actually do have it, oh my God, you're on death row forever and a day. It's very rare that they put somebody to death anymore. There's just so many appeals that wind on and on and on. And I don't know if it's the same for you guys, but the taxpayers all pay for this stuff.
yeah, yeah, exactly. That's why we get so pissed off about all these people doing all these evil things, and we're like, well,
Mhm.
why do we either if they've come here illegally and they've done it, just deport them back to their own prisons? Why should we have to pay for it? And the same with like English people when they get locked up. Why, why are we paying for all of this?
Mhm.
Get them to work, whatever they're doing, get them to pay for themselves. I know they work in there, but I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Absolutely
they have a bigger motive. There's a whole plan. I don't know exactly what it
absolutely.
is. I've got some theories, but yeah, because they're doing this on a global thing. It's shocking how much our countries are alike in what they're
Yeah.
doing with all this mass immigration that they allowed to happen and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's 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 always a certain group, isn't it, as well? Obviously,
Yes.
we won't go too deep into that, but it's always a certain group. And I just think, no, history is just repeating itself, and it can't. But what can we? We've got no control over it unless we all stand up in our billions, all in
Yeah.
one, rush the White House or something,
Yeah. That's,
or
that's
rush
about what it's going to
Parliament.
take. Yeah.
Yeah,
People are already talking about that. Another civil war again, another, and all that craziness. And war generates money. And I know
oh
we've
yeah,
got a
sadly,
lot of people incarcerated in this country, a lot.
yes.
Even
It,
with as liberal as things have gotten in the way, it's really weird
it,
how things are going. It's like, you've got illegal criminals over here that have records a mile long. They're getting out with no bail. They did away with the bail system in a lot of these states. But then you and I can come along and, jaywalk or something, and we're in there for 6 months.
yeah,
There's no
yeah. It's
access.
just
It's crazy.
it is. It's so back to front, isn't it? It's mad.
You said it, Defender. Yeah, it's so true. Greater.
Yeah, it is crazy, but they'll reveal themselves as well. It's just
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's going to happen. And I think people eventually. Okay. I just found her age here. I was reading this little newspaper article here
yeah.
on her confession. She was 35 in 1991.
All right.
Wuornos
Blimey.
was 35. God, she was younger than I thought.
Yeah,
Her face and stuff looks
yeah.
rough.
I
I
know.
thought she was.
Do you know what? I know I'm no spring chicken, not anymore anyway, obviously. And I used to get away with a baby face, but since I turned 40, it's just gone the other way around.
Oh,
But
God.
when I saw Aileen, I thought, oh, she's only whatever. And I just and I thought to myself, her face looks so much older. But then I thought, what she's been through. When you've been through a lot of trauma,
It showed on
it
her.
it catches up with you. And I think that's obvious. And the hair. Back
Yeah.
in those days when they had the mullets and everything, they always looked older. I've got well, not me. My uncle's got a picture of his two daughters, my two cousins, with their hair in the mullet, but very frizzy, and they look older than they should do. So I think it's
Yeah.
to do with the hair as well. No
I know.
offense
I've
to
never been a
anyone.
fan of that mullet cut. It reminds me of that
Yeah,
movie Joe Dirt. Oh my God.
it's just not a good look, is it really?
No,
And they
not at
still have
all.
them. The rednecks, don't they? They still have them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We got a lot of them here. I would say in the Mississippi area. I gotta
Oh
go
yeah,
wash
the
my
area where
mouth out
they
with soap. I'm bad today. Let me
no, no, you're all
humor
right.
me.
Yeah, the area where they go bankrupt and make the taxpayers pay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Certain initials beginning with DB.
Yeah. Oh God, I couldn't help myself.
No, we will leave all of that properly for another day, as we discussed. Cheryl, this is going to be so much fun. We're so
Bad
naughty.
influence. Very
I
naughty.
love
Yes.
Cheryl. She's so naughty.
Uh,
But yeah, bless her, only 35. That's nothing
yeah.
these days.
No.
Absolutely nothing.
But I'll read this to you real quick because you're going to
Yeah.
love the phrasing of this. This came out on December 6, 1991, in DeLand, which was in that little town area, Ocala, where they were, the main county. And it says, did authorities use a lesbian lover? You like that? As
Mm.
bait to coerce a confession from accused serial killer Aileen Wuornos, or was her taped confession legally obtained? That's the big question facing Circuit Court Judge Gail Graziano as debate over admissibility of the 3-hour videotape confession in next month's scheduled murder trial continues today. Well, that was a mouthful. Attorneys for Miss Wuornos, 35, who will go on trial almost a year to the day. Oh, I was right. It's about, yep.
Oh,
We're at about a year since her arrest on 5 murder charges, says their client was forced to confess to protect her friend and lover, Tyra Moore. See, I've always believed that. However, she said Wuornos did not know that 11 telephone calls she made from the county jail to Miss Moore at a Daytona Beach motel between January 14th to the 16th were being taped by the sheriff's deputies. She knew that she was being taped.
Yeah.
She knew. She's been around the block, and she wasn't that dumb. Admissibility of the videotape confessions as evidence is not the only issue before the court. The media, including the News Journal, are asking the judge to deny a defense motion that the confession be sealed. The defense team of Tricia Jenkins, that was the public defender's office there, and Billy Nolis, that was Tricia's investigator. Both Marion County public defenders entered the taped telephone calls into evidence during the day-long hearing Thursday. The tapes depict Miss Wuornos, who believed she was being held in jail on minor charges and was only, because they didn't tell her they were arresting her for murder in the beginning. I had forgotten about that. That's a whole nother ball of wax. Yeah, they said that she had this storage shed where some of her stolen items from these guys were. And that's basically, they had got her on some kind of traffic thing and something about unpaid rentals on those storage units. And so she didn't even realize she was being arrested for murder. They kind of, how they can get away with that. That's been proved, long time ago, that you can basically lie to somebody. But
yeah, because they lied to. I don't want to go on about me, but they lied to me on another occasion.
Yeah, oh yeah, I know, boy. It's
One of my other boyfriends. They lied to me. They said, "Oh, can you just come down the station for a chat about something completely off topic, like kind of thing." Got down there. They put me in the cell, left me in there for 4 hours, and then they decided to come and tell me what it was all about.
yeah,
So it's horrible in a way, but
it
sometimes,
is, because you start going back. Oh, could it have been this? No,
yeah.
that was petty. I didn't really do. Oh, but maybe it was that. Ooh, that one close call. Maybe that's yeah.
Mhm.
Oh
Yep.
Lord.
Oh God, honestly.
I forgot about that. Oh my God.
God,
I
that's
told you there was so much to all of this. It was a lot, but yeah. So all those phone calls, and I think the thing that she should have realized is that these phone calls were collect from the county jail, and Tyra was accepting them at a motel. I mean, a motel won't allow you collect calls like that. They didn't have the credit card things back in those days where you could charge it to your room and things like that. So that would have been a red flag for me, but I think she was so in love with this girl. That their relationship was so bizarre.
yes, it was. Honestly. Yeah, I think I'm just more concerned about Tyra having a mullet and going on to
I
sorry,
know.
sorry.
Now, I don't think she felt the same about Lee as Lee felt
No,
about her.
no, she was just using her.
Mhm. Yeah, that's what I always thought too.
Yeah, she wanted her 5 minutes of fame. Well, it was played in the courts because I watched the documentary. And what I was frustrated about with the documentary was it was like I said to you, Cheryl, it was in bits and pieces. It didn't
Yes.
really make sense as it went along. You had to fill in the gaps.
Mhm.
And I think Tyra was one of the first ones to think, right, 5 minutes of fame, get my money's worth, go to the
Yeah.
papers, this, that, and the other. But yeah, out in
Well,
court,
the thing we
again,
could never
phone
figure
call.
out is how she knew this was coming down. I mean, they were in this crappy little motel when they got a thing, a make on the car, leaving the scene of one of the crimes. And when we get into some of the crime reports and the history and whatnot, there's several where the crime was committed and people saw 2 women leaving the scene of the crime after one of the murders. And that's why I said, I really think she was in on a couple of them.
Right, yeah,
Not all of them,
definitely.
but a couple
Mhm.
of them. And she was
Absolutely.
so scared that, Eileen was going to take her down with her. And so she made all these deals. But I don't
Mhm.
understand, I've never understood this even back in the day, how they arrested Lee, but Tyra didn't get arrested during that sweep when they came down to the motel. You know how that works. They usually take everybody and sort out
Yeah.
the details later,
Yep.
but they didn't take her. And next thing you know, she disappears. They're flat broke, right? They don't have a pot to piss in. And she
Mhm.
hightails it back to Pennsylvania, which is quite a ways from Florida. That's way up north, towards
Mhm.
past New York. So I always wondered how that happened, where the money came from, how she went back home to her mom's house, how all that happened.
Wow. It's oh God. Some people you just think to yourself, just go away, you know?
Yeah.
And Tara's one of those people, just go away.
Yeah,
And
we should try to follow up when we get through with this and see if we can find out whatever happened to her.
yes, we must. That could be our next mission.
Yeah. Oh, God, I
Absolutely.
love this headline. She pumped bullet after bullet into these poor guys. It
Oh,
was
these
her
kids.
daddy she was killing. See, they had it in her head that she hated men and her dad, and she did all
Yeah.
this to get even with her dad. It was just ridiculous. They just made stuff up. But
Well,
yeah,
yeah,
this one's got a
exactly.
picture of all of them.
Yeah, and just covering the fact that these men were the monsters. What they did to her in one case, I think she had to kill him. Out of, a lot of it was probably out of self defence as well. Being a prostitute back in the day over
Yep.
in America was probably more dangerous than it was in the UK. They took you out, like Cheryl was saying to me, they take you out in the middle of nowhere and they do all these disgusting things to you, and yet you're supposed to just not defend yourself. Yeah, prostitutes know the risks and blah blah blah, but they're still human. They still deserve to live. Some
Yes.
of these girls just had no choice,
Right.
and it's quite a brave thing to do, in my personal opinion, when you're that desperate.
Yeah.
But these men had no right to do what they probably still do in all over the world. We know it's disgusting. They
I,
are monsters. What he did to her with the glass up her moo and
oh, yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
wow, it was disgusting. So,
I've got to find some of the statements from the wives of some of these guys too. I've
yeah,
got them
yeah,
in here.
oh,
There's just so many records in here that I'm digging through. But some of the wives, it's like oh no, there's no way. My husband didn't do anything, but especially the
yeah,
one that was the preacher. Oh my
oh,
God. You can
God,
just look at this guy and tell there's something off
yeah.
kilter about it.
There's
Oh, he
always
was
a
just
preacher,
being nice. Yeah, he was just offering her a ride. Uh-huh, sure he
really,
was,
yeah. There's
at
always a
11
preacher
o'clock
in
at
these
night,
stories.
yeah.
Yeah, it's so gross. I hate people like that that lead a
Yeah,
double life.
because the areas where these things happened at were areas
Yeah.
where prostitutes were known to hang, on that
Mhm.
highway area there. I mean, they act like, oh, this happened in Orlando by Disney World or something. No,
Yes.
these were in known areas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's disgusting what these poor women go through.
Yep.
And oh God, yeah, it's yeah, some of them what they did. It's you hear all sorts of stories, not just this case, other cases where, like over in the Suffolk killer over here, Ipswich guy, where he went around killing all these and abusing these prostitutes. It's like, well, you know, go and pay for a shag, yeah, but don't do that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And then they don't want to pay them for whatever reason or whatnot.
yeah, yeah, this is it. They just, oh God, you just couldn't make it up, could you? But yeah,
No.
that's so, guys. That's basically the introduction, um, and there's definitely more to come on this. It's a very interesting case. Did they do? They done lethal injection, didn't they?
Yes. And she requested that they hurry up and do, that's why it seemed like it was just over and done with. She didn't
Yeah,
want to appeal it. She turned down all her appeals. She just decided she wanted to go. she was ready. Just looking for that picture I had with all the men. Yeah, she wanted it over and done with.
Yeah. I'm surprised because I've watched a documentary on. Yeah, I watched a documentary on it. I can't. I'm gonna have to look in my thing for it. And then I watched a film on it. And there's this guy. He was wrongly accused of kidnap and murdering this child or something. It turns out he was totally innocent, but seeing him die that slowly in so much pain, that's why I don't like the death sentence, because probably more back in the day, you can be innocent and still die.
Oh, yeah, they make mistakes. That's why I'm not a big fan of it either. Now, if they know for certain they've got you on camera, holding the gun, killing all these people, like children and innocent people, like some of these weirdo killers do, I'm all for it. But other than that, because you just don't know. I've seen that too many times
Yeah.
where I've seen people convicted of crimes they didn't commit.
Mm.
So,
It's so bad. It really is bad, and it's just a waste of a life. It's really not fair. And I just think instead of lethal injection, why don't I know it's a lot messier? Why don't they just shoot them? Just
yeah.
shoot them in the head. Don't let
If
them.
Utah still has, you can, I think Utah and Idaho, and there's another state, you can pick whether you want lethal injection or firing squad. So there's a couple of states that still
Oh
do it that
God.
way.
I mean, both are bloody scary. Just the thought of it. But I just think firing squad absolutely just blindfold me. Just don't even. Just give me some anesthetic beforehand. Just say,
Yeah,
"Oh, blah blah blah." Just make up
I
a load of
know.
lies, and I don't know it's happening. Do you know
Well,
what?
yeah, I do know. Did Suffolk get caught? I was wondering the
Oh, yes,
same
he
thing.
did.
Okay.
I can't. I'm gonna have to look on my phone. I saw it earlier. Actually, I can't remember his name. Oh no, I won't look now. Yeah, I'll look it up later. But yeah, I think his name was Ian. I can't remember. Yeah, Suffolk Killer or something. I think there's a Netflix thing about it. I think I'm not sure.
I'll have to look that. I like those kind of things looking into
Yeah,
them.
because especially if the people are innocent, that's why I said just shoot them, get it over and done with quickly. Don't let them know it's happening. Just inject them with something, say blah blah blah, and just do it, because you don't know 100% that they've actually done it unless they admit it or whatever. So just
Right.
shoot them all. You know,
Yeah.
don't let innocent people suffer even more. It's just crazy. It's almost like the lethal injection. It's almost like the state are kind of enjoying that sort of death,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. It's almost like, yeah,
No, it does. It's always been a weird thing to me how they determine who's going to get what and for what reason,
mhm,
We just seem to lose any consistency. That's why I'm just in favor of getting rid of all of it. Because sometimes, I don't know. I think life in prison would be worse than death, actually. I don't know if I could do it. Oh,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's crazy.
yes.
But
Oh,
yeah,
and okay. Yeah. Warnos was put up for adoption by her parents at age 6, and her grandparents took her in for a while, but they didn't have her that
yes.
long. Yep.
Wow. That is, oh God, that poor woman.
Yeah, she was through it. 14, she was, you know, messed with when she was young by one of the neighbor guys. I mean, we all
Mm,
know. I always think about that guy that was the blonde haired guy over there. We have our
yeah,
Epstein over here, and you guys had the other guy that was friends with Charles. I think they even knighted him. What was his name? That turned
Jimmy
out after
Savile.
he died, he was a pedophile and all
Yeah.
that, a bad one.
Hmm.
It's like, where do these guys come from?
Yeah, no,
I
and they
just,
always end up being famous or a judge or a
yeah,
copper
yeah,
or a TV presenter. It's
yeah,
always the high ranking ones, isn't it? The millionaires. It's
yep. I was
Yeah,
just
it's
reading some stuff on him yesterday, and it's just shocking and how they always manage to go after children. It just drives me crazy.
yeah, exactly. It's like Defender said there after seeing the e-files, I can see how it could have been self-defense. Yeah, all
Yeah,
them poor girls that were getting, you know what? Um, yeah, and that's why they normally target children because they can't
yeah.
fight back.
They can't fight back, and a lot of people won't believe them.
Uh-huh, exactly. It's absolutely crazy. It really is. Bless their little socks. But yeah, so I'm gonna have to go soon, guys, because I can hear the dog pitter
Yeah, we
pattering around.
yeah. Well, I thought that's interesting, and you did your homework. I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you very much, Cheryl.
You
Yeah,
did
they are
great.
billionaires, Defender. But yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's been good.
Mhm.
It's been good getting to know Aileen, really.
Yeah. And just how screwed up her life was. That's why I said I don't justify killing anybody, but
No,
sometimes there's reasons for the way things go down. And
uh-huh,
yep.
exactly. Yeah,
And
right.
I know that first guy poured, what did he have? Rubbing alcohol or something after he poured rubbing alcohol on. Oh, yeah, we can go into all of that stuff later. I know you got to get
Yeah,
going.
yeah, something about alcohol. Was that the
Mhm.
glass situation as well?
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah,
Yep.
where he shoved it where it
Mhm.
shouldn't be shoved.
Yeah.
Oh God, that poor woman. Because I can remember when she was saying that talking about that in court, her hand was shaking. She was saying what he did. That was really painful, and I thought that poor woman.
Oh, yeah. And then they thought she was making all of it up. You
Yeah,
can't. She wouldn't have been that good of an actress, to make all that stuff up. And you know what I
no,
mean? That takes uh, that's reliving memories,
yeah,
boy.
yeah, that's true. Exactly. And she always seemed very bright and bubbly, despite what she was going through.
Yeah.
I think she was amazing. Why is there
Yeah.
someone honking? Did you hear that honk?
Yeah.
They
What
keep
was
doing
that?
that. I don't know. I think it's the black BMW. I have a black BMW up and down
Tommy found you.
Southampton.
He's coming by to say hello.
Oh my God. Oh, that would be just my luck. That would be just
I know.
my luck.
That's why my husband never cared about me going out clubbing with the girls, because I have that talent of the weirdest guy with cross-eyed, with pimples and missing teeth is always the one that comes up and hits on me. And I guess because I'm always nice to people, it's just I don't know. Do I have a sign on my back that says here I'm available? What is it?
I know, that's just so funny.
Yeah.
Oh God, well, at least you found the right one, Cheryl.
Yeah, I did. I got a good one.
I think my one's stuck up a tree or I've probably already
Yes.
told him to fuck off.
We'll have to go out and look for him.
Yeah, oh God. Oh, that's so funny. But yeah, yeah, definitely. So guys, I'm gonna have to go. So what we'll do if it's all right with you, Cheryl, next Wednesday,
Mhm.
same sort
Yeah.
of time.
Uh-huh. Same time.
Cool. And
Does that work for you?
yeah, yeah, that's fine with me. That's brilliant. Thank you. And
Hmm.
yeah, Cheryl, thank you so much for putting your time and effort into all of
Oh,
this.
thank you. I'm enjoying this. It brings back a lot of memories, working on this case.
Well, yeah, definitely, and especially because you've got most of the stuff,
Mhm.
it needs to be out there. Bless
I
her.
think so, because like I said, we only heard about the one. No, there's no other evidence that ever got presented on the other six guys. And there was actually seven guys altogether. That one newspaper I looked said five, but there was more than that.
Yeah,
And then I found the other one that had all their pictures. So yeah, there was actually seven. And
7.
they only talked about the first one. it all got shut down after that. So yeah,
Yeah.
bring this up next Wednesday.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Thank you, Cheryl. And just yeah, that's what I was going to say. Sorry, everyone. And that's probably why they left her prison sentence so short compared to all the others because they had to shut the whole thing down. Well,
Yeah,
they didn't realise that people like us would make a YouTube channel and get on with it and
exactly.
get the truth out
Well,
there.
I
So,
don't even think
yeah,
there was YouTube back then, or if there
no,
was, it was just
no,
in
there
the
weren't.
beginning stages. But yeah, I don't know if she got medical treatment for that. I would not think probably not, because most of the time the street workers didn't go unless,
No. Hi, Marie, thanks.
they needed a Weimar, unless they needed sutures or something. They usually
Yeah,
didn't go into the hospital or anything. So
yeah. Oh God, cool. Can you imagine when that's healing? It'd be like a
oh,
oh God, don't.
nope, nope, can't
Yeah.
even.
No, absolutely not. But yeah, anyway, thank you so much, Cheryl, and
Thank
thank you
you.
guys for
Lots.
joining us. Don't forget to hit the like button on the way out, just in case you forgot to do it on the way in.
I
And
always do it on the way in because God only knows where I am on the way out.
oh, thank you. Yeah, it's just better to just get it done than no one moan. But yeah, no, thank you, Cheryl. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
Thanks, mods, and
Yes, great
we will,
mods. Great mods.
yeah, we will see you next Wednesday, 8 p.m.
Sounds
Um,
good.
so at least you all know. Sorry, it was sort of last minute because I forgot to advertise it yesterday. My bad, but never mind. But thank you so
We'll
I
get it
never learn.
together here.
Oh, bless you. No, thank you so much, Cheryl.
No, thank you, Bob, and I'll see you soon, or I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah,
Bye,
you
guys.
take care. Thanks. Bye. Right, I think I've done that. Right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We will see you next Wednesday at 8 p.m. and have a good rest of